this one. So this is the graph. So this graph is a graph of the equation f of x is equal to x or y is equal to x. So that is how you graph a function.
Complex problems. Don't worry. Make it easy.
Hello, welcome to Make It Easy. In this video, I will teach you on how to graph different functions. So, in this particular video, I will teach you the very easy technique or very easy method on how to graph a function. So, we are using a parent functions, so it means we will use general equation of a function. So what does it mean, a general equation? So it means that we don't have a specific value for our input and also for our output. For example, we have a parent function of f of x or general equation of a function, which is f of x is equal to x, and this is a linear function. So how to determine that this equation is a linear function? So later I will teach you on how to graph this function, but I will give you a glimpse that the graph of this particular equation is a linear function, which is this is a linear graph. And also we have an equation which is f of x is equal to x squared, and this is a quadratic equation. This is also a parabola opening upward, so this is its graph. And later also I will teach you on how to graph or how to know the graph of this equation. And for a cubic equation, f of x is equal to x cubed, and this is its graph. And we have also the graph of absolute function, and we have an equation f of x is equal to the value or the absolute value of x, which is this is its graph. And also for a reciprocal function, having an equation of f of x is equal to 1 over x, we have a graph in the first quadrant and also for the third quadrant. And for exponential function, having an equation of f of x is equal to a raised to x, we have a graph which is this one. So this is for exponential function. And for a logarithmic function, having an equation of f of x is equal to natural log of x, this is its graph. And for square root function, we have f of x is equal to square root of x. So the question here is a square root is a function, so we only take the positive value of x, so that is why our graph is only at the first quadrant. So because, for example, if we assign x is equal to 4 and the square root of 4 is positive negative 2, so the question is that, is positive negative 2 a function of x? So the answer is no, because we have two values of our value for our x. We only need an input and also a unique value of output, so we must only obtain one value for our output. So we only take the positive square root of x. So also for our graph of our sine function of x is equal to sine x. So we have here a sine wave. So for our cosine f of x is equal to cosine x. This is our graph. And for our graph of our f of x is equal to tangent x. This is our graph for our tangent x. So we have here the equation f of x is equal to x, or we can y is equal to x. So I already shown it to you that this function is a linear function. So since we have a parent function, we to know the graph of this parent function, we can assign different values of our x starting from a negative value. So you can start from, for example, you will start from 0 to negative 5, but in this video I use 0 to negative 3 and 0 to positive 3. So for example, x has a value of negative 3, or if our x is equal to negative 3, our y is also negative 3. So the reason why x and y is the same, because our equation, we have the condition of our equation, y is just equal to x. So if your value of x is negative 3, your y is also negative 3. And if your x is equal to negative 2, your y is the same as negative 2. And x is equal to negative 1, your y is equal to also negative 1. And in conclusion, all of the values of your x is just equal to the value of your y. So to determine the location of this graph, so you just need to plot these coordinates or these points. So if your x is equal to negative 3, so x here, this is our x equal to negative 3, and y is equal to negative 3. So this is our coordinate, or this is our point of intersection between these values. So if our if our x is equal to negative 2, x is equal to negative 2, our y is right down here, which is also equal to negative 2. And if our x is equal to negative 1, our y is equal to also negative 1. And if our y is positive 1, or our x is positive 1, our y is equal to also positive 1. And if our x is positive 2, our y is the same, which is also positive 2. And if our x is negative, x is positive 3, our y is also equal to positive 3, which is here. So to determine its graph, you just need to connect the points. We will connect its points, which was this one. So this is the graph. So this graph is a graph of the equation f of x is equal to x, or y is equal to x. So that is how you graph a function. So all you need to do is to assign values for your x starting from negative to positive. You just follow this method, which is you just need to assign values for your x and get the value of your y. So We will proceed to another example.